Tabby McTat. Tabby McTat was a busker's cat with a meow that was loud and strong. The two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in an old checked hat, and this was their favorite song. Me, you, and an old guitar heard perfectly. Happy we are. Me and an old guitar heard perfectly. Happy we are. One morning, while Fred ate some bacon and bread, McTat took a stroll round the block. Then stopped, for there on the doorstep sat a gorgeously glossy and green-eyed cat. She was black with one snowy white sock. Sock and McTat had a cat-to-cat chat. And that's how their story began. For a while, they were chatting of this and of that. A leaf had his eye on an old checked hat. He eyed it, he snatched it, he ran. The busker gave chase, but he tripped it on a lace, and crash, in a flash, he was down. He broke his leg and he bended his head, and he ended up in a hospital bed in a faraway part of town. Goodbye, McTat said. I must get back to Fred. But where had the buskers gone? The sun went down and the sky grew black. The stars came out, but he didn't come back. McTat lingered on and on. A week later, Sock took a stroll round the block and found her new friend looking thin. He's gone off and left me, said Tabby McTat. Then Sock said, my people, Primula and Pat, will gladly find room for a fine tabby cat. She was right, and they took McTat in. Next morning, old Fred left his hospital bed and found his way back to the square. But a brace band stood where the pair once sat, and a band played this and a band played that. And Fred looked all round for his loud meowed cat, but Tabby McTat wasn't there. Now Tabby McTat had a wife and a very full life with plenty of things to do, like washing Primula and pouncing at Pat and hiding the car keys under the mat and keeping the newspapers nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional bat and nibbling this and nibbling that. But he dreamed of his friend with the old checked hat and always woke up with a mew. And often he said, what's happened to Fred? And his pals took him back to the square, but the conjurer stood where the pair once sat, and he pulled out this and he pulled out that, and people threw coins in the tall black hat, but the busker was never there. One morning, Sock said, look under the bed and see the 3 little kittens I've had. And Somas looked like this, and Susan like that, and the littlest kitten called Samuel Sprat looked exactly the same as his dad. The 3 little kittens grew and they learned how to mew, and McTat sometimes sang them his song. And Samuel Sprat, with his tabby gray fur, had a deafening mew, meow, and a very loud purr. And he simply loved singing along. Me, you, and the old guitar are perfectly happy we are. Mew and an old guitar. How perfectly happy we are. When Susan and Thomas found very good homes, their parents were happy and proud. There was one home like this, and another like that. But nobody wanted poor Samuel Spratt. They all said his voice is too loud. Now Tabby McTat was a home-loving cat, but he couldn't stop dreaming of Fred. And one day he called up for his wife and his son, and he told them, "There's something that has to be done. I must go and fight him," he said. So up and down and all over town he wandered a whole week long, for a many morning and an afternoon, by the light of the sun and the light of the moon, till he heard a familiar song. Just me and the old guitar. If I had a cat, I'd be happy far. Just me and the old guitar. With my cat, I'd be happy far. It's Tabby McTat. It's my long-lost cat. Old Fred was ecstatically glad. Then the two of them sang of this and that, and people threw coins in a new checked hat. But why did McTat feel sad? He was missing his wife and his comfortable life and the dozens of things to do, like washing Prunella and pouncing on Pat and hiding the car keys under the mat and keeping the newspapers nice and flat and giving the pens an occasional bat. But how could he tell the buskers that? Then out from the shadows ran Samuel Spratt. "Oh, please let me be the busker's cat," he said with his deafening mew. Now Samuel Spratt is the busker's cat, with a meow that is loud and strong. The two of them sing of this and that, though Samuel sings just a little bit flat, and people throw coins in an old checked hat. And this is their favorite song. Me and you and an old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. Me and an old guitar, how perfectly happy we are. The end.
请问白袜与虎太生了几只小猫？
答案是3只小猫哦。
为什么虎太的太太会被取名为白袜？
因为虎太的太太有一只脚上面是白色的。
老白的随身乐器是什么呢？
老白的随身乐器是一个吉他。